Just a swinging in my swing, waiting for people to join me. Hi, Steph. Don't start. Let me see. Oh, I don't know how to do it yet. Wait. Wave. Yay! I did it. First successful wave. Yay! You probably could have just sat down in the rocking chair. We could have just swung and moved together. Anywho, I guess, so you asked me what my topic was for tonight, and I didn't want to tell you because I kind of wanted it to be like a joint venture. This series is going to be called Ivy Illuminations, and it is me reaching out to others, but also me being accountable, because I think Moza, which is my baby outside of my 7 to 8 job, I don't always care for Moza like I should. So listening to the workshop and retreat that I did with mommy over the past weekend, I am being accountable and putting myself out there and outside of my comfort zone. So Ivy Illuminations, Ivy Wall, Ivy Swing. You know, I like alliteration, so it's sharing stories on my swing. And I think I'm just going to give space for people to kind of share their own stories. So I don't want to particularly put a theme to it necessarily, but just people being themselves and allowing themselves to kind of share what they want to share and be open and make connections. So this is Ivy Illuminations with my swing. Hi, brown skin me. How are you? That's the horse in the background. Shh. I'm really glad that this... Hi, honey. I'm glad you're well. I'm really glad that this swing takes 800 pounds. So I'm not fearful right now as I'm going back and forth. Okay, so I have joint physical custody of a 9-pound Yorkie poo named Wiggle. And then the dog you just heard was my 85-pound standard poodle, Baba Yaga. He's treacherous. Hi, Rika. How are you? Hi, Brittany. So I was just saying that I'm giving space for people to kind of share their own stories. Sometimes I'll share, sometimes you guys can share. I want to connect and stay accountable. And I want us to be able to, without it getting too serious too early on, just, a lot of people silently suffer. And I think that when we share stories or share our testimonies or kind of, come together, we can help each other out. We can become like spiritual doulas. And so I want to have this space so that people can share and just flow in my little ivy wall, because I've turned my basement into like, not the secret garden, but like the freedom enclave. Yeah, so it's free up in here. I would turn the camera so you can see the horse, but then I would not know how to turn it back because I'm ancient. The cat is also down here lurking, killing ladybugs as we speak. But okay, Rika, I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm chilling in the swing right now, but I'm doing good. What are some things you guys would want to talk about in the future, so I know? What kind of topics are in your minds and your hearts that you would want to share? Hey, Kay. How you doing? Wait, I'm going to do my wave action. I'm learning how to wave. Look at me. I'm waving, y'all. Y'all don't understand. This is a big deal because I really am ancient. I just look young because Brown Girl Magic, we don't age. So I just look like I'm in my 30s, but I'm really 3,000 years old. So me waving on the live is a big deal for me. Baby steps. But no, what are some things? Thank you. Yay! What are some things you guys would want to talk about in the future? Topics that you want to share or like learn more about? Thanks, Brittany. The names are weird. They're all over the place. So I'll wait for you guys to respond about the question in reference to like what you guys want to talk about in the future. And I'll share a little bit of a story that I have, I guess, on my heart. So last month, February 2022, was supposed to be like the month themed about brokering and advocating for self-affirmation, what it looks like to really focus and devote time for ourselves and not everybody else. And then this month was supposed to be on the topic of loss, which is living and loving outside of sadness and sorrow. I actually am going to teach that class on Sunday at noon on this same IG profile. It's not going to be like we did before, which was my pony's about to come into the. Come on, say hi. Say hi, big boy. Come this way. A little bit closer. Come on. Ooh, okay, you burp. This is Baba. Baba is 85 pounds. But it's not going to be like the last classes. So January was attachments versus connections, divine discernment. And then we had February, which was affirming advocacy. And then we had this month, which is loss. Like I said, living and loving outside of sadness and sorrow. And then April, I'm still trying to decide whether or not I'm going to do the emotional martyrdom versus spiritual doula class, or is it going to look something different. But for this weekend's class on the 13th, I decided to make it a little bit later than my usual class time, which is typically the Saturday or Sunday, first Saturday or Sunday of the month. Because my paternal grandmother transitioned on the 13th of March, and I thought it would be a beautiful way to kind of honor her, but also to kind of delve into what it really means to live and love outside of sadness and sorrow. And so this Sunday class at noon is going to be us kind of just sharing our stories and us asking questions, because loss cannot just be a death of someone you love. It can be someone choosing to leave you, an intentional choice they make, or it can be a job loss or esteem loss. Maybe our insecurities aren't taking the best of us, and so now we're not being forceful, we're not being full of dare or assertion. Maybe we lost our esteem. And so loss can look different for everybody. People can experience the same kind of loss and kind of heal from it in a different manner. So Sunday's class is going to be in reference to that. Sunday's is going to be loss, living and loving outside of sadness and sorrow. But Ivy Illuminations. So sharing a story. Let's see. So February for me was really, really tough because I'm pretty gregarious and convivial. I'm pretty much like, y'all can tell I'm kind of extroverted. But the theme of affirming advocacy was like hardcore for me last month because I stepped outside my comfort zone, which I truly believe is where life begins. You can't really... you could live inside your comfort zone, inside a box, inside whatever regulations or rules that you've given yourself or you allowed others to give you. But is that really living? Is that then just existing? So I decided last month that I was going to get out of my comfort zone, and I had applied to a position a couple months before that was outside of the scope of what I do right now, but kind of the same jam in a way. But it took a lot of advocating on various steps of that journey, and it was frustrating for me Because when you have people who are soldiers for other people, it sometimes is difficult to war for yourself. And so I found myself many times last month being frustrated, being angry. Well, not even angry, but like angry with self, coming like, why do I gotta go through this? Why do I have to fight this hard? Like, this is what I do. This is what I know. Why I gotta fight this hard? And so, similar to me, I mean, you got people who are expanding their businesses. You have people who are like, look, I kind of do want to go back and get this degree, or I do want to go ahead and get this certification, this training, whatever. And sometimes we allow self-doubt to creep in. For why? Especially for some of us who've been doing the work and doing the modality and doing the vocational training or vocational work for umpteen years. How do we so easily allow ourselves to fall into that hole of doubt? For what? Does it help us? And so I discovered last month and this month as well. Hey, Destiny. I discovered that a lot of the crap we put on ourselves and a lot of the limits are just within our minds. Now, I mean, there's financial challenges, or constraints. There's, you might not have as much autonomy. Like, I got a kid, so I can't just get up and go when I feel like going, right? So there are some limits we have. But when we talk about the doubt, the insecurities that stop us from really pushing ourselves, that's stuff in our head. And so I talk about the importance of like rewriting negative narratives. And I fuss at myself and I fuss at other people about, don't be mad with someone about a monologue that you labeled as a dialogue that happened only inside your head. Don't do it. And so, I'm learning how to advocate and fight and broker for myself more, which is hard, but I'm doing it. Right? Hello? Okay, Brittany. Exactly. Self-doubt is so real, but it doesn't benefit us. So when I talk to people, when I'm counseling people, and I'm like, so how did that serve you? What you do after that? Well, how do you feel when she said that to yourself? And I get this face. It's for a reason. So I often do like self audits where I'm like, okay, is what I'm thinking real? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it just sheer foolishness? Is what I'm saying to myself kind? Or is it BS? Or is it mean? Or is it limiting? Yeah, I feel you, Destiny. And so a lot of times when we're talking to ourselves, we got to check ourselves with a quickness so we can go ahead and just, take out the negative, take out the foolishness, take out the things that aren't real from our psyche, so we're not continuously retaining and receiving and repeating and regurgitating things that don't serve us well. So Ivy Illuminations is going to be us just having conversation, us talking about truth, us going through things and sharing with each other so that we're not trying to do this alone. I know people who are connected to me get sick of me saying, you don't have to go at it alone. You don't have to go at it alone. And for some introverts, they're like, no, but I want to go at it alone. But you really don't. Going at it alone can be very solitary. It can be very deafening. It can be very challenging. And so when I say you don't have to go at it alone, I'm talking about you got spiritual doulas who are hopefully connected to you, who can have your back, who can share with you, who you can learn from, who you can share with. And so you can have a better group of tools and resources to equip yourself so that when you have those hard times or you have those tough decisions, you can go, no, this doesn't make sense for me. Or what I'm about to say, I'm not even going to say because I don't want to put that into the atmosphere and manifest that. So we kind of operate in a more wiser space, a more understanding space, so that we're giving ourselves grace as we give grace to others. So another thing I'm going to be doing soon is called my G Squared. And y'all better not put that on somebody's post or a paper, dissertation, or anything else, y'all better be like, oh yeah, Courtney, oh, Zekis said that. It's G squared, grace and gratitude. So what I think I'm going to do, well, okay, y'all, so here's the other animal. Hold on. Look at her. That's Neffy. That's the mean one. So what I'm going to start doing is going, hey, I give grace and I'm grateful for ... So in this moment, I will say that I give grace and I'm grateful that you all joined me on my live tonight. I'm being accountable to myself. I'm being accountable to my organization, Magic Sacred Arts, because that is my baby. And I want to continue to pour into her as she pours into me and I'm able to pour into others. I got to start checking myself and honestly the down here in my head. Yeah. Yeah, and Brittany, the thing is this. A lot of times people will push that same fear, even our families, so even our parents, that same fear that they might have had. And so they're doing it out of love a lot of times, thinking that they're helping. Cut it out, y'all. Thinking that they're helping. And so they go, oh, well, maybe you shouldn't do this. Or like for me, I had an opportunity to go to Russia, I think in 11th grade of high school. And my parents were like, my only child, not safe, And so they stopped me the first time. And then the opportunity came back around in 12th grade. And I was like, y'all gonna let me do this or not? I want to travel. I want to go. I want to meet people. And so I finally got the opportunity to go to Russia in 12th grade of high school because my parents were like, we stopped her the first time. Maybe there's a reason why she needs to go. And one of the reasons might have been my pen pal, Maria. Her father was extremely, extremely racist. And he did not like, sorry, y'all. Stop biting the cat. He did not like black people. He hadn't had an example of black people outside of like television. So he either thought we were drug dealers, rappers, or porn stars. And so I was not allowed to stay at my pen pal's home when I finally did get to Russia. But her mom and her finally convinced her father just to have me over for dinner. And I got to go there and I got to share who I was as a person, even back then, with her father. And he was like, not all black people are the same. And I was like, yeah, duh. But it was a teachable moment, right? So it allowed him to broaden his horizons, understand that not everybody's the same, that it's not good to have biases or racism. And he ended up like hugging me and embracing me before I left Russia. And so sometimes, people are fearful, but I say sometimes even when you're afraid, take that first step. Take that first step because you never know what the trajectory of that path or that journey is going to be once you do decide I'm going to do this. And typically when you do decide, I'm going to do this, like, oh, God got me, I'm finna take this step. Then the universe starts manifesting and bending to your will. Like it starts happening. Provision starts happening. Or all of a sudden this scholarship is available. Or all of a sudden this person who knows this person knows about, oh, you wanted that internship? Aren't you good in arts or aren't you good in psychology? Or let me connect you to my mentor. When you start telling the universe, when you say, oh God, I'm about to walk. I might be scared, but I'm still going to take this first step. Stuff just starts coming out the woodworks. So I implore y'all, even if y'all afraid, even if y'all feel like, oh, my family's not going to rock with me on this, or my friends are not going to rock with me on this, it don't matter. They don't got to. And the people who are connecting me, I get on their nerves because I'll go, sometimes people got eyes, but they don't got sight. Sometimes people are not going to have the sight because they're not supposed to be aligned with your vision. Boop, boop. And that's okay too. And so what I think I'm going to leave you all with is ... Drum roll. First, take that step. Even if you're scared, take it. It's all good. Live outside of your comfort zone. That is when you really start living. And what you don't want to do is spend your entire gifted time just existing, right? You want to actually start living. So take that step, even if you're scared. Step outside your comfort zone. Check yourself. Whatever audits you need to do, where you're ascertaining whether or not you're being kind, whether or not you're giving compassion to yourself, whether or not you're giving grace to yourself, do all of that. And then after you come to that understanding, adjust accordingly. You're not going to benefit anything by talking down to yourself. You're not going to benefit anything by taking opportunities from yourself, sabotaging yourself. And it doesn't serve you well and it doesn't make you feel good. So just change it. And it's a work in progress. It's not going to happen overnight, but you got this. And speaking from someone who used to Joan up Barker herself for fun. Like, oh, okay. Constructive criticism, one thing, y'all. Tearing yourselves down, limiting yourselves, whole different ballpark. And we're not walking in that park anymore. It's not safe. So I love y'all. Thank you for joining me. Hit me up in my DMs. Let me know stories or things you want to hear about. I got plenty of stories. I think once I really get accustomed to the live thing, I will try to get people to join me and we can talk and have a conversation, a dialogue. Love you. We out.